interesting salt. I mean, I think it's such a pretty salt.
Yeah. It's gourmet salt.
I love it.
Yeah. So we need 1 cup of powdered sugar, is that right?
We need 1 cup of powdered sugar, yep.
All right.
So should we put a half in at a time so
Yeah.
that powder doesn't go spewing all over?
That is right, because that's exactly what would happen, and we're all wearing black shirts. We don't want that to happen all over our shirts. So it's probably still gonna fly everywhere, so you can laugh at home if it happens. Ready for a little more?
Yep. I feel like if you pound the wet ingredients down into the powdered sugar, it doesn't.
Helps to keep it under
It helps
control.
it not fly away.
That's good.
Our dry ingredients are all mixed.
Okay, so now we're gonna make a well in the center. This helps us to incorporate the wet ingredients much easier. We don't want to overmix it because overmixing any kind of bread makes it tough. So we're just going to go ahead and pour this in. We want our crumb to be tender, not tough. The more you mix something, by the way, that has flour and liquid in it, the more gluten it creates. Gluten is the protein, gliadin is the protein in bread that makes it chewy. So while you want bread to be chewy, you don't want pumpkin muffins to be chewy. You want them to be tender. All right, you want to mix?
Absolutely.
Okay. How's this icing going?
What do you think?
It looks amazing.
Right.
If I were at home, I'd be sticking my finger in it and trying
Totally.
it. But
If I didn't have this mask on, I would be diving in.
I'm trying to keep it clean here. So while they're finishing up the batter, we call that batter, and the frosting, I'm going to line the muffin tins with our cups. This the recipe as you will get it will make 6 muffins, but you could simply double it to make 12. These just help things to come out a little easier, and I don't like the cleanup of a cupcake tin, personally. All right.
It smells
Ready?
amazing, yes.
Okay, so now here's the key, guys. Using some sort of a measuring tool to disperse the batter into the cups, because nobody likes to get short shrift when we're talking about a cupcake. So I just like to try and get it as even as possible, and even use a spoon sometimes too. About half full is good. So does someone want to do this? Well, I have some questions for you guys.
All right.
All right, so somebody want to spoon those in? And that looks good?
This is looking great. Did you try it? I did not try it. Do you want me to?
Well, yeah, stick your finger in it. You have more self-control than I do. Just see if it needs more milk. Is it thick enough?
No, it's good.
It's good enough? All right, tasty. All right, so here we go. So I asked all of my cooks a couple of questions while we're wrapping this up, because the next step will be they'll go in the oven, and then we'll wait, just waiting. All right, so here we go. Mrs. Armstrong, since Mrs. Lane is concentrating right now, I'm gonna start on you. I don't want her to mess up the measurements here.
Gotcha.
One food you can't live without is?
All right, so I don't think that I could single out one specific food that I
Okay.
couldn't live without, but I could definitely totally live on solely eating appetizers and desserts.
Is that right?
Like little munchy foods, and then definitely a sweet thing at the end. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite appetizer?
Ooh, no.
No.
All of them.
All of them. I do love snacky food too. One of my favorites is cheese and crackers.
Like I could go out to dinner and just order appetizers
Yeah.
and be A-okay with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Good to know. All right, a favorite memory surrounding food. So when you think of food and you think of a warm, fuzzy feeling, what do you think of?
So, like one specific incident, maybe, I don't know, that's kind of hard to narrow down, but I do like cooking with all three of my kids at
Okay.
home. That's fun. Just, you know, doing it together just makes it a little bit more enjoyable to eat, I think.
Yeah.
Because you know that they spilled their love into it as well.
Absolutely. All right, last question for you, and then Mrs. Lane will be on the hot seat. What is your go-to kitchen gadget?
All right,
or
so
tool?
I love all kinds of kitchen gadgets. If you go to my house, I literally have drawers of all kinds of fun things. I actually have, that would help Mrs. Lane out. It looks like an ice cream scooper, but it has like a release handle that I use for my muffins. So like
we need one of those right
it's
now.
an equal amount, and then you kind of release it so you don't have to use this
I
phone.
like that.
It works awesome, but I really like to use the whisk. I think using the whisk is fun.
Yeah. So this, for those of you that don't remember, this is a whisk. I know we used it at one point with something we made. What do you think? Can each one use a little bit more?
Well, what do you think?
Yeah,
I think so.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Mrs. Armstrong can finish us up here. All right, here we go. Mrs. Lane, one
Okay.
food you can't live without is?
I'm gonna have, well, there are two foods that I can't live
That's
without.
all right. We'll let you have
All right,
two
good.
because you're our favorite attendant.
Oh, well, thanks.
Don't
pasta.
forget to do your
Yeah,
attendance
that's
this morning. Do your attendance before you watch any
Yes,
further.
that's right. Yes, please do your attendance. So I'm an Italian girl, so I couldn't live without my pasta.
Oh, yum.
Love me some pasta all the time. Any
Nice.
kind of pasta, I love it. But then I also have to have my chocolate. I could not
Nice.
live without chocolate.
That's
Little
awesome.
piece of chocolate every day. You know, that's a good thing.
That's why you and I are friends. I'm
Yeah.
a pasta girl too.
Yeah,
My
like
mo-
how could you not be?
Yep, my
right?
mother's maiden name is Gaudioso.
Wow.
Doesn't get much more Italian.
No,
My
that,
mother's
like,
maiden name
screams
is
Italian.
LaGuardia.
Well, maybe
So-
we're related.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of vowels in there.
Yeah, LaGuardia like the airport. Yes.
Okay. All right. A favorite memory surrounding food.
I would have to say Thanksgiving with my
Yeah.
family. I'm from Pittsburgh, so we go home and we see my parents and my siblings and my nieces and nephews, and my mom is an amazing cook, so I get to
Awesome.
help her in the kitchen make Thanksgiving, and it's always a good warm memory for me and my family.
What's your mom's best dish, hands down, at Thanksgiving?
Ooh, that's
Gosh,
a hard
hard
question,
one.
Mrs. Colbert.
That is a tough
You're supposed to
question.
say all of mom's cooking
Yes,
is the
all of
best.
it is great, but she does make an amazing like sweet potato casserole that everyone just
Does
loves.
it have marshmallows on top?
We don't do the
No, not the
marshmallows,
marshmallows.
but we it's really good.
Nice.
So, yes, and it's really one of those things you probably usually only eat around Thanksgiving
Yes.
time, so we
Yeah.
look forward to that.
All right. Last question. Your go-to kitchen gadget or tool?
Oh gosh. Well, my big go-to gadget is a blender because
Yeah.
I love everything in the blender. I love
Okay.
smoothies. I love making you can make soups in the blender.
Yeah.
So I love a blender, but I love my little gadget. I love a zester.
Oh.
Yes.
To get the flavorful skin off of the lemon or
lemon or lime or an
Yes.
orange. Like anytime I bake and I need to put a little zest in something, it's
Perfect.
so great to have that zester instead of trying to use a knife or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the zester makes it
Easier,
yeah,
yeah.
like an exact amount.
Yeah.
So I do like a zester.
That's awesome. I heard some new kitchen gadgets and tools that other people have not mentioned. Well, my favorite kitchen tool, I have no idea why, other than I use it all the time, is the red rubber scraper. These guys know because they've seen this in everyone. So to thank you for coming on Buckshot Cooks, you get your own
Yay!
red rubber scraper.
Oh,
Yes, Mrs. Colbert.
It's so Owen J. Roberts.
Yes, now see, do not use it
In my
because
classroom.
the wildcat will end up in your batter. But you guys were super fun to have on today. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to put these in the oven.
Thanks.
So, and we'll ice them later, but we're not worried about that right now. All right, so let's go ahead and you want to watch us put these in the oven? I'll set the timer. And do you want to bring the other? Oh, we got the other one coming over. Okay, so we'll just slide them in. And these are going to bake for about 20 minutes. So I'll set the timer. And start. 20 minutes in the oven until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. In other words, when you put a toothpick in the center of a cupcake, it doesn't come out with a bunch of liquidy ingredients on it. It'll come out maybe with just some crumbs on it. We'll let them cool for about 10 minutes and then we'll ice them and we'll eat them. So thanks for joining us, Mrs. Lane, Mrs. Armstrong, and all of you. I hope you try out this recipe and enjoy your holidays with it. Thanks. See you next
Thank you.
time.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.